Good morning, good evening, everyone. My name is Danila Palmieri, and I am the co-founder and COO of UnniCo, which is proudly hosting today's event. On behalf of the UnniCo team, I would like to welcome everyone here today at the second destination of our webinar series, Around the Globe with Berkshire Hathaway HomeServices Georgia Properties. This is an event especially put together for business-minded individuals about relocation within the United States and all around the world. You will walk away from this event today with a view of global relocation, investment opportunities, and the tax and legal considerations associated with such a move. With this event, UnniCo will introduce you to a one-stop shop of experts who can guide you in every step of the process. Let's start our journey with Melinda McBriar, a certified international property specialist with Berkshire Hathaway here in our hometown, Atlanta, Georgia. Melinda, now it's over to you. Hi, Melinda.
Okay. Get the start video button. Thank you. And thank you for Danila for introducing us and hosting this program. I'm Melinda McBrayer, a certified international property specialist, and I work with Berkshire Hathaway HomeServices Georgia Properties. I am here today to talk to you about the experts we have that will do relocation around the world. Berkshire Hathaway is the largest real estate company in the world. We have offices in all strategic areas around the globe. We have London, Germany, Spain, Quebec, Italy, and also we have a series that will be come up approximately every 2 weeks with the particular offices. So everyone will get to know that office, what is unique about that office and area, and so that we can relocate you to the offices every step of the way. What I'd like to do is quickly and briefly go through and introduce each team member who's an expert in international, whether it's law, taxes, companies, investing, funding. And we have a long list of experts. Not everybody is going to be speaking today, but you can contact me for those experts that can take you every step of the way. So I'd like to introduce first, I will introduce John Parkerson. And John can introduce his local attorney that he works with, who is in Dubai. They'll be discussing the tax and legal considerations when relocating internationally. And John, if you can introduce the attorney that you partner with.
It's my privilege to be here today, and thank you, Melinda. I'm John Parkerson from Hall Booth Smith. I'm an international business attorney there, and it's a privilege to be on this same panel with one of the world's best lawyers, and surely the best law firm in the Middle East region, and that's Samer Kuda from Al Tamimi and Associates. Samer, you're there, I think. And we'll be addressing some of the legal issues associated with relocating to United Arab Emirates, more specifically Dubai in this case.
Well, great.
Thank you, John, and thank you, everyone. It's my pleasure to be a part of this panel.
Great, glad to have you. Thanks for joining. Next, I want to introduce you've met Danila Palmieri and Alex Weiser. Those are the founders with UnniCo. UnniCo is a company that does an end-to-end process for companies, whether you start up, you go through funding, and anything in between. And they'll give you a highlight of what they do. Alex, Danilo?
Yes. So welcome everyone. I'm Alex, and with Danila at UnniCo, we are pretty much able to go all the way from M&A and funding from companies in early stage startups all the way to companies that are so mature they're looking for a new partner or a new owner. We do have also the capability to do back office and also to do outsource sales and marketing to our clients. We do have a division that we call UnniCo Digital that we are capable to help to build the digital image for our clients and also help them with e-commerce and electronic retailing. And also to do this cross-border. So we are very international in footprint, all the way from Asia to South America, North America, and that's pretty much a little bit about us. So we're looking forward to know more about you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex. Next, I want to introduce our special guests. We have Dunya Fade. She is the COO of Berkshire Hathaway Gulf Properties. She will talk she's got a presentation with her folks that she brought with her, the Dubai FDI and Emaar Properties, and also want to, they will give presentations, each one of them, and also want to introduce Kathy Conley. Kathy Conley is our Senior VP, and her role includes the relocation department. And she does relocation around the world and also domestically. And I will let Kathy go ahead, do a quick brief overview of her role and what the relocation department provides.
Great. Thank you so much, Melinda. Good morning, everyone, and good evening. I wanted to go ahead and just share a few slides with you, if I may. Hopefully everyone can see those on your end. Can someone give me a thumbs up that you can see the slides? Some of the panelists? Thumbs up? Okay. Terrific. Thank you so much. As Melinda said, I'm the Senior Vice President of Corporate Services for Berkshire Hathaway HomeServices Georgia Properties. We're based here in Metro Atlanta. I'm also the qualifying broker and have over 30 years experience in the mobility industry. So I'm delighted to be here and help represent our company today. So as I said, we're based in Atlanta. We have 26 offices and approximately 1,500 associates here. And we specialize in partnering with corporations who are managing their mobility workforce into or out of the Metro Atlanta area. So we've worked with some of the highest profile companies and major moves coming into the metro area over the last few years. So we do work both domestically and internationally, offering settling in services to many of our clients who are bringing people from other places in the world. So a little bit about the Berkshire Hathaway network, and we're delighted to have Dunya on the call with us today. But HSF Affiliates is the parent company that operates the franchise operation for Berkshire Hathaway and Real Living franchises around the globe. So they are the parent company. We are Berkshire Hathaway by virtue of the fact that we are a franchisee, and we have brands, as Melinda said, throughout the world. And I'll show you a map on that in just a moment. But they also operate the Real Living brand. So we are also wholly owned by HomeServices of America, which means that Warren Buffett is the ultimate owner of our company, and we're delighted to be associated with one of the most respected and admired brands in the world. And through that affiliation, we have access to companies around the globe that you'll see here, over 50,000 real estate professionals around the world and over 1,500 member offices. So again, we're thrilled to have Dunya represent Dubai today as a member of our Berkshire Hathaway network. So with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Melinda. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kathy. I appreciate it. And with that, I would love to introduce our special guest, Dunya Fadi, and she has brought with her Emaar Properties and also Dubai FDI. And with that, Dunya is world renowned. She's been featured in Forbes magazine. She's been Woman of the Year. She has many interviews that she has conducted, aspiring women and more. And she's just an incredible COO. And she is here today to present Dubai. I did want to mention for our folks who attended our March 12th event, where Dunya was here in person. And for those on the call who were there, you will hear some updates as far as Dubai, what they've done since the shutdown that was held on the 12th with Governor Kemp. So I will introduce Dunya, COO of Berkshire Hathaway's Gulf Properties in Dubai.
Thank you, Melinda. Thank you, everyone, for arranging this lovely panel. My name is Dunya Fadi, like Melinda already introduced. I'm the CEO of Berkshire Hathaway HomeServices Gulf Properties here in Dubai. Likewise, with Kathy, we're very proud to represent this brand and work under the leadership of the most trusted and respected investor in the world, Mr. Warren Buffett. Here today, I'm gonna talk a little bit about Dubai and the business in Dubai, the life in Dubai, everything about Dubai that everyone is eager to hear. And along with me, I have Mr. Vishal Gambhir from Emaar Properties. Emaar is the largest developer in the UAE and the third largest worldwide. As well as I have a gentleman, Mr. Akil Mershandani, who is the principal policy analyst for Dubai FDI, who is an investment promotion agency under the patronage of Dubai Department of Economic Development, and they are mandated to attract foreign direct investment into Dubai. So here today, we're gonna try in a short time to give you everything you need to know about Dubai, business, owning a property, moving in, starting a business, everything you need to know. Today, you are in the right place to learn about it. Thank you. So I will just share with you, I'm gonna start with a little video to just show you how, what Dubai is. And then I will pass it on to my colleagues who would carry on the same theme and show you more and share more information with you. 1 second, please.
Welcome to the city that connects the world, where the road to progress is paved for all. Whatever your focus, your vision, or your passion, this is the place to realize your potential. This is the place for the new ventures to become the next wave of unicorns, for the established to transform their industry, and for every one of us to widen our impact and leave a legacy. Where cutting-edge research is positively impacting our planet. Where innovation is the DNA, empowerment is the norm, dialogues are global, and horizons expand every day. And above it all, this is a place where our hearts tell us we're home. With open arms to the world, find your Dubai.
So I'm sure everyone hears about Dubai and is very curious to know what we have in Dubai. I personally have moved to Dubai now it's been 15 years. I've started my career as a working woman, and I also had a family here. I have 2 little children who go to school here. We live here. I own business here, and we own property here. So I would like to just share with you a little bit what Dubai is all about. Just a second. So when we speak about Dubai, everyone thinks the Middle East, which is the location where Dubai is, which is very strategic when you talk about distance from the rest of the world. When you are in Dubai, you are more than 2.5 billion live within that 4-hour flight from Dubai, and just over 5 billion are 8 hours flying. So you can already think about the way you could expand your business and broaden your reach just by being in Dubai towards Asia and Africa and Europe. I've lived here and I am from Morocco originally. So we've got around 210 nationalities that live in Dubai. In Dubai, the population is around 3.3 million as of July 2019. And the one thing is that there is only 15% of UAE nationals and 85% are expats. So you've got a melting pot of cultures, nationalities, and backgrounds that really live in harmony here in Dubai. And as you can see, we've got mosques, churches, we have a synagogue coming up, we have the temples, and we've got it all here. So everyone can live their way by being in Dubai. Dubai has been the world-class business destination for many, and it is definitely #1 most competitive economy in the Arab world. It is also #1 in the Middle East and North Africa for ease of doing business. It's very easy, and I'm sure Alex and the team can explain to you how easy doing business here or setting up businesses here. It is #1 world's most cosmopolitan city. If you remember, I spoke about the mixing cultures and nationalities. And also it is #1 in the Arab world in terms of economic performances. So when we will be going through some numbers, and I'll show you exactly what I mean by that. Since I came to Dubai in 2005, Dubai being in the Middle East, it was known for its dependency on oil. The industry was depending on oil and also real estate, because by that time freehold was introduced, and it was a major it contributed majorly to the economy. But soon after 2008 recession, and slightly before that even, the government has started creating other sectors. So the economy is not heavily dependent on one. So there is a huge diversification in the sectors in the economy, and you can see that you have wholesale and retail, you have transport and storage, you have financial and insurance, manufacturing, real estate, tourism, and many other sectors. There has been a lot of capital influx, and I can share with you this: 60% of the MENA startup funding, which the MENA region has received, went to the UAE in 2019, and we had a huge success in 2019 where Uber has acquired Careem, and there was another acquisition as well by Amazon for a souk.com or business, e-commerce business here in Dubai. So we have seen a huge capital influx, and again, Akil will share more on that. There has been acquisition, sorry, I've already said that about the Careem and the souk. The infrastructure in Dubai is top line, and not the number one that helped Dubai was the ports, and mainly the very first port that we have in Jebel Ali is the one that started it all. But here now in 2020, they have 78 maritime terminals with 40 countries across 6 continents that handle a huge number of cargo, and specifically 14.1 million of cargo in 2019. And it is the number 10, it is the largest port in the world, and that is DP World. I'm sure, or I hope some of you would know Emirates Airline. I think it has reached all destinations and connected Dubai to many countries. And as you can see here, it has connected Dubai to 240 destinations. The airports, and there is a terminal specifically dedicated to Emirates Airline. It is the #1 busiest international airport for now 6 years in a row. It handled 86.4 million passengers last year, and it is projected to have 118 million passengers by 2023. The ecosystem for business in Dubai is known to be at zero tax in terms of income, corporates, and property. You only had, in January 2018, we had 5% of value added tax that was introduced. And if you compare it to the rest of the world, you can see how it is very competitive and very attractive compared to the rest of the Gulf itself. The #1 for me priority was safety, and I can assure you, as a woman, as a mother, as someone who lived here for 15 years, I had never had to worry about my safety or my kids' safety or anyone that I know. It has ranked, and of course the statistics show that it has ranked, Dubai has ranked 6th for world's best cities, 7th globally for safety and security, and it is the #1 Middle East most desirable city to live in, and it was through polls that have been conducted. Geopolitically, of course, when you think, sorry, Dubai, you think Middle East, you think a little bit of unrest and differences, but I can, again, having lived here for 15 years, and many of you have already visited this beautiful country, it is one of the safest places in the Middle East in terms of living and doing business. And I mean, as you can see here, there was a steady GDP growth. It has, in fact, I can share this, is the population has doubled since I myself moved into to the UAE. So right now we are a double population, and the population will continue growing because the government is initiating a lot of things that would attract more people to come to this beautiful place. Dubai World Trade Center, we have a huge exhibition centers, and it has hosted in 2018 alone 349 events from all over the world. It has had 53,000 plus companies, and it had visitors numbered by 3.57 delegates, sorry, in 2019. We have one of the world's biggest events happening this year and next year. Unfortunately, due to the pandemic, it didn't happen this year, but it would definitely and hopefully happen 2021. It will be October 1st, and it will run for 6 months. It has already 190 plus participants, and expecting 25 million visits over the 6 months. just during the pandemic and during this challenging time that everyone was going through, the government is, I can say that the government is very progressive and very dynamic in terms of reacting to what's happening. They have set up, right now, if you can see, these are few headlines I thought I would share with you. We had stimulus for packages for economy. We had peace agreement with Israel. We also have now a new legal overall of personal and family law. They wanted to make this more expat friendly and abide in some cases by the law of the home country. Also, just 2 days ago, testing has happened of the Hyperloop, where DP World is one of the major investors, and the test of the machines or of the vehicles have been done in Nevada. These are Hyperloops, we'll say trains or mode of transportation that will be used in the UAE, and it would run at 600 miles per hour. And this shows how Dubai is very open to adopting technology and innovation. This is something, again, new that has been introduced in terms of some visa reforms that we saw. They have introduced retirement visa. So people who are age 55 and plus, and there are some terms and conditions, but they actually can move in here and live here. They also, due to the pandemic, they have also allowed now, or has given an option of the work from home visa. And this is a little video to bring some humor.
John, I don't know how you're doing it, but we're very delighted with your work.
Thanks, I'm just keeping my head down, working non-stop.
Are you in a restaurant?
The food delivery companies, they really go the extra mile these days.
So what this means, basically, it means that if your company,
John, I don't know how you.
If your company allows you to work from home anywhere in the world, you actually can come and get a visa, and you can live in Dubai and work from Dubai. And as you can see, I've attached a little note here that shows what are the requirements. Like, you have to have minimum of 5,000 USD monthly salary. And of course, you'll have to have the NOC for your company, or a proof that they allowed you to work in remotely. And the visa cost is very minimal compared to the other visas. So this is an option, again, to come and enjoy the weather in Dubai, or you just like as a trial period to sense or see how Dubai is gonna work for you. Other initiatives by the government, as you can see, there is the Dubai Future Foundation initiative to take Dubai 10 years into the future. There is Smart Dubai 2021 that's gonna help Dubai emerge as a world leading city by 2021. Dubai Plan 2021, UAE Vision 2030, Internet of Things strategy, Dubai Clean Energy strategy by 2050, and National Strategy for Advanced Innovation. So you have all these initiatives under process right now and in the working. It has been, as you can see, and as I reiterated in the beginning, 200 plus nationalities live here, and it is one of the happiest countries in the world, and it is ranking number 6 in world's best cities. And I, as someone who lives here, I can confirm that. Thank you. I hope this was not too long for you, and that you have taken something from here. I would pass it on now to my colleague, Vishal, who would share further with you some of the beautiful sites and the lifestyles, imaging and communities that we have here. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Dunya, and thank you for having me here. It's a privilege to be addressing people from Berkshire Hathaway and everybody else who's seeing this live. Over the next 10 minutes, I'm just going to give you a quick overview of what EMAR is and what we stand for. I was just, resonating with this, with the background message from Mr. Warren Buffett about, how a real estate developer should be financially strong and should have the highest integrity. And I think Emaar definitely, qualifies for both those statements, which are, the statements even from Berkshire Hathaway. So without further ado, I'm just going to quickly tell you, we are not only a real estate developer, we are one of the leading in the world. And we are not only into real estate, we are very much into lifestyle. We are into malls. We are into, obviously, into hotels and hospitality as well. So I would call ourselves a well-rounded company. We are also into retail, so we are a large group otherwise. And we have basically, built almost some of the biggest landmarks in Dubai. We're proud of Burj Khalifa, which is, our brainchild. We built the downtown district. We built one of the largest malls in the world, which is Dubai Mall. We have a group of hotels which run across address. You have Dubai Opera, which is a very big, entertainment destination. And as I said, we are also into the e-commerce sector as well. Aside to that, obviously, we take a lot of pride in what we have built, which is mostly our communities. We build destinations which basically appeal to people from different nationalities, given the fact that Dubai is a hub for 200 nationalities, people from different age groups. So we built golf course communities. We built one of the most famous marinas in the world. We built, Arabian Ranches, which is again a very renowned destination in Dubai. We've had the Dubai Mall, as you can see on your screen now. Downtown Dubai is now almost 16, 17 years old. Within downtown, you have an opera district. We are now building another great master community in the heart of the city. So we've definitely have a wide variety of destinations which can appeal to people across the board. We're present in about 13 countries across the globe, but today we're basically going to be focusing on Dubai. You look at your screen right now, you would see Emaar ranked as, in the top 10 most valuable property brands in the world from Brand Finance, which is a research done last year. Within the most well-regarded companies on the planets, which is from Forbes, which was a survey done last year, we are in top 20. We are very much, there ahead in terms of any other real estate brand in the world. To give you a quick perspective on why you should be confident to invest your money with the real estate developer here, we are very much listed on the stock market. We're the largest listed in Dubai Stock Exchange. We have now delivered successfully 63,000 residential units since 2002. Our business is well diversified, so we also have a very sizable portion of our revenues coming in from leasing, as you can see. We manage and own 21 hotels and resorts with almost 5,000 rooms. Just in the last 1 decade, we have sold 30,500 residential units with a value of, with a value running into billions of dirhams. We take a lot of pride in the fact that we are renowned for our community management. We understand expats from around the world come here. They build their, as Dunya was rightly saying, I've been in Dubai for about 3.5, 4 years myself. I moved with my family. So we always like to come back here and, connect with the new family that we want to find. And which is why we take a lot of interest in our community management, whether it's safety, whether it's, being children friendly, whether it's being pedestrian friendly, looking at the landscaping that is required, the kind of amenities we want to offer to our people, and the fact that we want people, to make sure that Dubai is not second home for them anymore, but it's actually a first home. And that's why community management is at the heart of what we do. Getting down to some of the specifics on the business front, this is a simple map of Dubai. You can see Emaar is well spread across the board, right from the heart of Dubai to your extreme left, you would see the upcoming area, the new business district being promoted by the government, which is Dubai South. We have a golf course community there. We have another community, which is Dubai Hills Estate, which is in the heart of the city. We have an upcoming district we call as Dubai Creek Harbor, which is mirrored around downtown, which is preparing us for the next couple of decades of development. And then we have a series of our ultra luxurious high-end communities of Arabian Ranches. And we've now, also have a beautiful, one of the very most renowned waterfront projects called Emaar Beachfront. For today's discussion, given the paucity of time, we're only going to focus on a few of them. This is a high-level view of what you can see in downtown Dubai. Obviously, we have a wide range of products available here, but top of the rack right now, if you see the Burj Khalifa on your screen, you have the inner circle of Burj Khalifa, which typically has unobstructed views of Burj Khalifa, of the Dubai Fountain, of the Dubai Mall, and the Opera District. This is where most of our concentration today is in projects like Il Primo, which is a very ultra luxurious project. You also have a project which is on the Opera Grand side, which is part of the Dubai Opera District. So these are a couple of focus projects that we're largely focusing on the inner circle of Burj Khalifa, at least from the given point of time of whatever inventory we have with us. Moving forward, to give you a quick perspective, this is our prestigious waterfront community. We have been successful enough in building a Dubai marina. It's a #1 preferred tourist destination in Dubai. It's the second most preferred investment destination after downtown Dubai by investors for the last 5 years. We're building a very, very vibrant Miami Beach lifestyle, private beach experience. I always keep saying this. If you visit the site and you're actually very much exiting your lift in the lobby, it just takes about 12 steps for a person of 6 feet to actually hit the beach. Maybe somebody at 5.5 feet takes 15 steps. That's about it. That's the kind of lifestyle experience you typically have in Emaar beachfront. It's in the heart of Dubai Marina. You have Palm Jumeirah. You have the Ain Dubai, which is a new observation wheel being made by the government. You also have Dubai Harbour, which is a new cruise ship terminal being built. So the government and Emaar collectively are enhancing this particular location. We have a series of projects here. So you have a 1.5 kilometer beach. You have some of the best licensed food and beverages and retail that you can think of in the world at your doorstep. And you have a series of investment options available, right from an ultra luxurious high-rise tower co-branded with Elisap, who's a renowned designer, to even a lovely investment product, which is a holiday home, which can cater to investors who have appetite to look at tourists being their future tenants. Moving on, we have our ready community at the heart of Dubai. Sheikh Zayed Road is at the city center, and we have this project just about stone's throw away distance from the city center. It's called Dubai Hills Estate. It has a beautiful 18-hole championship golf course managed by Troon, which is a renowned golf course management company across the world. It has an ultra luxurious clubhouse of 50,000 square meters, amazing views of Dubai skyline. It's again centrally located, which is very important in real estate. So you have a location which takes you to the airport. It takes you to the marina. It takes you towards Dubai Line or Dubai South, which are the upcoming districts being expanded by the government. It has its own mall, one of the only communities apart from downtown Dubai which has its own retail mall. We're proudly opening up a 50 square meter roller coaster ride, apart from your 650 retail stores inside the mall next year. Plus, it has one of the most amazing parks, which is already now ready. It's a park of almost about 1 kilometer length with about 1,400 trees being planted, and it has 14 different activities. Yes, in Dubai Hills Estate, to your right side, you will see ultra luxurious mansions, available at about close to $25 million. To investment products which are ranging at under 300 to 400,000. So we have a wide range of products available here, right from plots to villas to luxurious park-facing apartments, which you can see. If you can see my mouse moving here on this part of the screen. And this is what we spoke about, the mall, which is coming up next year. And that's a basic perspective or overview for you to see what the golf course looks like, with 83 bunkers and a beautiful practice facility to help you improve your score. That's again a eye view of it doesn't look like Dubai, but this is Dubai. This is what Emaar and Dubai has really achieved. It looks like a beautiful urban heaven. Step out of your balcony or your living room and get a lovely breeze of about 1,400 trees breathing oxygen into you. To summarize, to just give you a high level perspective, we have a wide range of products, right from residential apartments for investment or for end users. We have hotel rooms, which are mainly for investments. We have townhouses, which are there, as you can see on your screen. And we have, detached and undetached, which are independent villas. All of these are available in either off plan, which is by definition away from completion within a horizon of 2 or 3 years, or nearing completion, which is a horizon of a year and a half, or ready to move in, which is a horizon of 3 months from the time you make payments for your unit. Last but not the least, we understand every customer is unique. We appreciate the fact that as a developer, we need to bring value to the table for every investor. Some people are looking for services, some are looking for benefits, some buy in not to an EMAR unit, but they buy into an EMAR lifestyle, because then they associate with EMAR as not a developer, but somebody who's providing them hospitality, lifestyle, entertainment, and retail. So keeping that in mind, we have a series of benefits we offer. International investors prefer property management. Ardent investors prefer cash flow. So we offer them a post-completion payment plan. So you finish taking your unit and then you pay after that. Government, registration and service fees are waived off. If you're buying a holiday home, we have holiday home management for you. And then we have some lifestyle packages. And last but not the least, we have our ultra prestigious program called the Heroes Program, which we offer to frontline COVID warriors, which is an exclusive benefit for military, police, municipality, and doctors. So that's it from my side. Once again, thank you, everybody, and look forward to seeing all of you soon. Thank you so much.
This is Max Sutherland, by the way. I'm going to jump in here real quick.
Dunya,
if it's okay, let me jump in here real quick to ask a question. And I think there's been an oversight as to who I am. My name is Max Sutherland. I'm the president, CEO of the World Trade Center Atlanta, and a co-sponsor of this series, the Berkshire Hathaway series. And I'll say a little bit about World Trade Center at the end. But Vishal, I wanted to ask a question real quick of you. Here in the United States, especially the commercial development sector has seen a bit of a downturn with the pandemic in the past 6 months. And they don't see it really picking up again for another at least 12, 18 to 24 months out for any kind of new constructions. Can you speak quickly as to what that development demand has been in the last 6 months, looking forward in the commercial versus residential space? How is it looking for you guys? Because here it is, the commercial side has stalled a bit.
Thank you so much, Mark. Just to give you a quick perspective, we are not into commercial real estate as a company. We don't sell commercial real estate. We largely, our only aspect on commercial real estate, caters to a mall segment. We have the Dubai Mall, we have the Dubai Marina Mall, which is on the waterfront side, and we have a Dubai Hills Estate Mall, which you saw is upcoming. So from a leasing perspective, yes, there have been challenges, there have been headwinds. We've stepped in to cater to those headwinds for our tenants largely. Takeoff on new tenants obviously has taken a setback. There's no denying that. Dubai Hills Estate Mall was slated for opening up in September, and as Dunya said, the expo is postponed to next year. We were 90% leased out as far as Dubai Hills Estate Mall was concerned. We still have those commitments, but then obviously people are looking at postponing it to a certain extent. Since we are not selling commercial real estate per se, I will not be in a position to comment on Dubai's commercial real estate. But residential real estate, to answer the second aspect of your question, the offtake in March to June, July was pretty slow. Everybody was, waiting and watching. Everybody was skeptical. It was the first in a lifetime experience. We didn't know how to really get up for this. But then from July onwards, property sales have obviously tickled in. It's balanced between, the market is balanced between first and second sale, which is true for any real estate market in the world. And there are cherry picks available. There's always a great opportunity available. There are always, investors who wait for such opportunities for almost half a decade. As you know, real estate works in cycles. So we've had a cycle at 2014. I think we're typically ending that cycle of 2014. And from here on, I think investors are investing in Dubai because of two reasons. While the cherry picking still remains, the bottom line story is very simple here. You see value for money. You buy a property worth $500 per square feet. You get a property which has great connectivity, great infrastructure, one of the safest places to live on the planet, an amazing government which has proven that it's not only the 4th best ranked government on paper in the world, but the 4th best rank in reality also, and they've been put to a test. A country which does not have its own agriculture. I personally haven't had a single day where I've had to be challenged during the pandemic, though there were, clogs on supply chains across the world, to even not even get the simplest of grocery, which may come from China, US, or even India. So that typically is the current reality. People see value for money deals right now in the market. And despite a demand being less and supply being more, there are cherry picks which are happening in the market because people realize that from here on, it can't go further down. It can only bounce back. I hope I've been able to address your queries. I'm sorry I could not specifically address the commercial aspect because we don't specialize in that.
So follow-up question real quick. So to give everybody a better understanding, is Emaar a property development company, or is it a leasing company?
No, so we develop residential real estate properties. We own malls. We lease our units in the malls to individual companies who are our tenants. We don't sell them off. We just lease out to some of the biggest brands in the world, right? From the Sephoras to the MACDs to anybody else on the planet. We lease our units out only in our malls and on our boulevards across our communities or in our souks. That's what we do.
But you do develop the mall properties?
Yes, we develop them, we own them, we manage them, and we rent them out.
Thank you.
We are very strong believers of retail, so we don't sell them. We own them and we manage.
Very good. Dunya, let me throw that back to you now. I do have a couple of questions for you, Dunya, but we'll get to that in a few minutes.
Sure. I think the next person to present us with the services of Dubai FDI and what they have achieved so far is Mr. Akil Marshandani.
Yes, thank you very much. I shall just throw my presentation onto the screen and hopefully if everyone can see it. So first of all, thank you so much, Dunya and Vishal, with such great ambassadors for Dubai. This certainly makes my job easier and Dubai FDI's job a lot easier. I hope all the audience is now invigorated to come visit Dubai. Dubai is open for business, our travel, airports are open, everything's open. And we highly encourage and recommend everyone to make a quick visit to Dubai, especially since the weather is so great. And I'm sure Vishal will give us some great recommendations on where we can stay and some places we can visit here. My role as Dubai FDI here is we are the investment promotion agency underneath the Department of Economic Development. And our official name is the Dubai Investment Development Agency. And we are a government agency where we have to create, grow, and retain foreign direct investment into the Emirate of Dubai, as well as develop, manage investment policies, and we help investors such as yourself throughout the entire life cycle from setup to growth. And the whole point of this presentation today is, there's been a great job of highlighting all the different opportunities in Dubai. Now it's more operational in terms of these are the services on the ground that are being offered by the government for free of charge to help investors, access all these opportunities here. Now, how do we do that? We generally work along 3 different verticals, which is the investment promotion team, investment support team, and the investment development team. The promotion team is essentially the sales force for Dubai FDI. They will go out around the world. They will, pre-COVID times, obviously, present the opportunities here, work with different partners such as Berkshire Hathaway to identify, investment opportunities for investors and essentially educate investors about Dubai. The investment support team will then get involved once the investor has decided to set up in Dubai and will help the investor identify the best location, whether you want to set up in a free zone, whether you want to set up on shore, kind of work with you to help you identify what is the best business model for your operations here in Dubai. And the investment development essentially is, if you will, is kind of the beating heart for the entity. We provide investor-centric, future-ready services. We work on the policy front with a lot of the investors to identify various issues to try and make the overall environment more competitive for investors, and help reduce the barriers to entry. So if I drill down into the investment promotion services right away, how does the team go out there and interact with the investors? Over three main areas. One is investment promotion events, global missions with partners, and the delegation reception. Obviously, the investment promotion events right now are various events we've had across the world. We've gone to the US, Japan, India, Italy, you name it, we've been there. We generally try and target 1 or 2 countries a month, and we're very aggressive in our promotion strategy across the world. Now, due to COVID, everything is being offered through webinar, and this aggressiveness actually still persists when we host one webinar a week right now with different countries across the globe along 3 main focus areas in logistics, healthcare, technology, and agriculture. Essentially, we also do global missions with partners. Something like this with Berkshire Hathaway, we work with a very exclusive list of partners that we feel truly believe in Dubai's vision and believe in the value that Dubai can bring, not just for themselves, but for their investor base as well. And finally, delegation reception. And this is something that this is not only government to government. Many times partners have brought a delegation, for example, the World Trade Center from various places have come by and said, we want to sit down, meet with various government opportunities. And the government is always open to meeting these delegations and meeting investors from across the world. Once you've come and you've set up in Dubai and you've made the decision that, yes, this is it, Dubai is here, this is the place I want to set up and live, what exactly can we do for you? There's obviously advisory services where we work on a consulting part for establishing companies in Dubai and the free zones. Our team will work with you and tell you this free zone is right for you. You should go set up in Jafza, the MCC, or maybe you should set up onshore as a whole. The journey does not end there. Obviously with the setup services being offered, we also work with you after you set up as part of our aftercare team. And this is essentially, how we help you expand into the different region, expand beyond the region as a whole. As Dunia pointed out in her presentation, accessing 5 billion people requires some help. And we have a sister agency that actually does do that for you. And our aftercare team will meet with you to ensure you are able to avail those services and avail that growing market. One of the key things we have as well that was recently launched is, we actually had to highlight this separately, is 100% foreign ownerships for foreign companies coming and set in. This is actually a new law that came into place in 2018. It's been in the works from then until now and is being aggressively implemented and pushed this year, where companies can set up onshore, 100% fully owned with no local sponsor. As we get in there, the journey for an investor does not simply end with setting up and hand-holding. We also encourage a lot of networking events, and we encourage dialogues between the private sector and government entities. So for example, Dubai Investment Week, which is one of our global platforms that identifies investment opportunities across Dubai. And this is directly from the horse's mouth. You have the director generals from all the major entities, Dubai Municipality, the Road and Transportation Authority, the Economic Department, and some ministers as well, highlighting the various investment opportunities and how investors can avail them and how they can actually be plugged in to these opportunities as a whole. And then on the public-private connect side, which is actually was writing the tailcoats of Dubai Investment Week, and it became quite popular that we had to offer it as a standalone service, was essentially saying if a group of investors all came to us with the same issue, we would organize a sit down with the relevant government entity to try and identify a solution and say, listen, if you want to ensure that we remain competitive, we remain number one in many aspects across the globe, we need to address these issues and we need to address them immediately. So it's part of the Dubai's government main issue is that we always want to maintain an open dialogue with investors, and we always want to be open for investors to approach us at any point in time. Right? Finally, these are some of the resources that we have readily available for a lot of people globally. Our Dubai Advantage website, which highlights the unique value proposition that we created for Dubai as a city, as a hub and a gateway, can be accessed at dubaiadvantage.com. On that same website, we also have access to a lot of the investment opportunity briefs in there, in industries such as artificial intelligence, autonomous transportation, blockchain, so on and so forth. And this grows consistently. And we aim to add about 2 new sectors where we identify investment opportunities every quarter. So right now we are working on the next 2 that should hopefully be released on there by the end of this year. And finally, capacity and readiness development programs. We understand that at FDI, we're a small team. We're about 20, 25 people in the organization, and only a few of us go out and do the promotion. And attracting people to Dubai, building the brand that is Dubai, is actually a group effort amongst all of Dubai entities, all of its residents on here. As you've seen, 85% of, as was highlighted by Dunya, 85% of people living here are expats. And all of them are ready to go out and promote Dubai. And this is what this capacity and readiness development program is. It helps identify the latest trends, helps educate our entire base about what the current opportunities are in Dubai and how they can better help their investors access them. Right. Some additional reports on the more technical side is, obviously anybody's interested in an investment report about the current trends, current information, we're more than happy to provide this information. And in fact, investors can avail this directly from our DubaiFDImonitor.com, which is a first of its kind that tracks FDI flows on a city level. We can also build custom sector reports. I saw there were a few questions about certain sectors on there. I'll be more than happy to provide FDI information about those sectors if you would like, drop me a line later on. And something we recently launched during the COVID pandemic is a Dubai FDI ecosystem, which in this day and age, with the amount of information that was out there due to COVID, with the amount of information that people weren't sure what to do, what actually could affect the business, this clearly filters through all the relevant information for the FDI ecosystem in Dubai, and it's on an open data platform, right? On that note, during when we highlighted the COVID issue, when we highlighted the FDI ecosystem issue, one of the things Dubai openly, decided to do right off the bat is that we realized that the government has to work and has to be there for the population as a whole. And we made it a point in time that we were going to help everyone, whether you're a citizen, whether you're a resident, or whether you are a tourist. And during this time in COVID, it was, the government, as Vishal said, there was no shortage of anything. The government reassured everybody that everything is available, everything is going to be there. There is not going to be any shortage of anything. They've taken all the measures to secure everything. At that time, for all the tourists that were stranded in Dubai as well, the government covered all their costs, their hotel costs, there are the costs of boarding, insurance, saying that, listen, this is a pandemic. We know you can't get home. We know you're stranded here for the next 3 or 4 months. So all their costs were taken care of to make sure that it did not become a burden on them. And we always wanted to make sure that Dubai always has a good place in everyone's heart and everyone's mind as a whole, right? On that note, I'm happy to say, if we said Dubai is open for business, we really are. If you look at our testing measures, we have one of the most aggressive testing measures globally. We have the highest testing per capita. Prior to boarding an Emirates flight, you will have to get a PCR test. You come over here, you'll find everyone adhering to rules and regulations. And in fact, you'll be fully insured when you come here to visit Dubai, to explore the investment opportunities, or even just coming here for a simple vacation as a whole. And I think that peace of mind has really helped us to be, to increase the confidence in Dubai. We still have a long way to go in terms of, getting back to pre-COVID levels. No one's going to sugarcoat that, but we can see the confidence returning. We can see tourists coming back, and we can see the overall optimism of the city back on the right path due to all these inclusive measures by the government. And if anyone would like to get a hold of me and avail any information, there's my direct email. Please feel free. I'm more than happy to help you answer anything. And if I can, I'll make sure I find the right person for you. Thank you very much.
Akil, thank you very much for the presentation. This is great insight, especially how to work with the Dubai FDI. I do have a couple of questions. You did indicate in your presentation the sectors that you work with, or your focus is on, but I do have a couple of questions from attendees. One is regarding the agriculture industry in Dubai. I'm not even sure, is there one? And the second sector that we want some insight on is clean tech, the strategy regarding clean tech. Can you speak to those two industries?
I can. I'll speak to clean tech first because I'm a little bit more familiar about that. Then I'll touch on the agriculture a little bit. It's a little bit of a newer sector for us. So the clean tech space is, yes, we have a clean tech strategy. We have a Dubai green strategy, and that's something that we have taken very, very seriously across the board. We actually have one of the world's largest solar parks being built out in the desert that is online, going on in different phases. And I believe we are in phase 3 right now, the Mohammed bin Rashid Solar Park as well. The strategy over here is essentially along energy generation, and that's where a lot of FDI has been coming in across the board from different countries. We've also adopted a lot of different, recycling measures. We've adopted a lot of different energy generation and waste management issues across the board. Something as simple as, plastics recycling on the retail side, where we convert, in the re-commerce industry, convert plastic into clothing, to a lot of the villas, and I'm sure Vishal can even attest to this, where DEWA, which is the Dubai Electricity and Water Authority, is plugged in and trying to get electricity, allowing people to install solar panels and generate their own electricity and then feed back into the electrical grid to reduce the strain and reduce the overall output. The other thing you also find is the adoption of electric vehicles here. The UAE was very, very quick, and Dubai in particular, to adopt electric vehicles, encourage it, and actually promote their use by installing a lot of charging stations across the city and motivate individuals to purchase them. And if people want to go a step further, we actually have an area where they can live called Dubai Sustainable City, where cars are not even allowed to drive inside. You park your cars outside, and you actually have vehicles that are, non-pollutant, that non-carbon producing vehicles take you around the city to encourage a greener lifestyle across the board. So this is something that was, and the industry is unique because this came directly from the government. Normally in most countries, clean tech industries is always a bottom up, it's a grassroots movement, but this is something the government took very aggressively. They were very forward thinking, and this is drilled down from the top and been adopted by not just a lot of the investors in terms of their sustainable plans, but also, a lot by the average consumer and the average residents are living here that are being taught in schools in terms of the different clean tech strategies that need to be implemented, not just now, but for the next 10 to 50 years. On the ag tech side, this is a relatively new industry, we've been focusing on for this year. This is something that we've been trying to identify solutions, and this is all due in line with the Ministry of Food Security that we have in place. The Ministry of Food Security actually has a very, very aggressive agricultural strategy of what they're trying to do. There's been a lot of different ag companies coming and setting up here, primarily in produce like lettuce, berries, tomatoes, and so on and so forth. And there are different options and avenues to pursue that. I'm more than happy to answer additional more technical questions, and I can get the information to all the different attendees here that require that information in there about various locations to set up and the various opportunities that lie within the ag tech space as a whole.
Akil, great answer. And we'll make sure that we get both yours as well as Vishal's contact information out to everybody. By the way, this will be recorded, and the link for the recording will be sent out to everybody. Anybody that has any special requests can also reach out to any of us, and we'll make sure that the information presentations or PowerPoint presentations that can be shared will be shared on a one-by-one request, but the recording itself will be shared with everybody. Dunya, I have a couple of questions here for you. Given that you are Berkshire Hathaway Golf Properties, what type of properties is BHHS Golf Properties offering at the moment? What are they strong at the moment? What do you see the requests in? And have you been able to conduct transactions given the pandemic situation?
Sure, thank you, Max. So Berkshire Hathaway HomeServices Gulf Properties is a brokerage firm here in Dubai. We cover all aspects of real estate. We have the residential parts, the commercial. In residential, you've got, like Vishal mentioned, the off-plan, which is the new construction, what you guys refer to in the US as new construction. And we've got commercial, which is the retail and offices and the big assets, institutional assets. We have property management. We do luxury properties. So in Dubai, there are mixed of properties. There are the apartments and the villas and townhouses. We cover all, but with the pandemic, and I think even my other colleagues would agree, in other parts of the world, due to COVID-19, people were looking for more space, due to the lockdowns and not being able, no one wants to be stuck in an apartment, in a building sharing the same AC. People needed more space to work from home, not necessarily, the kitchen counter. So people were out there looking for townhouses and villas, and we have seen a huge number of transactions in Dubai during the summer period because people were not able to travel. Most of the people opted for being in Dubai, and they went, and whether it's rental or sale, but they opted for townhouses and villas, and also a lot of land purchases as well for people to build their own homes and design the homes the way they like. So we cover all of that. We do rentals, we do sales. Were we able to transact during the lockdown and during the travel restrictions? Definitely, because not only like I said, ease of doing business in Dubai, but also the government immediately reacted and allowed us to conduct remote transfers, which allows us to transfer a property from an owner to another through a video call, where they will authenticate the person and they match him to the ID that they have, and they verify with questions and everything. And then we were able to transfer properties in new names, or sellers who were stuck abroad. And there were people who live here, but they were stuck because all flights and borders were shut. So they were still able to rent and sell and buy properties during the pandemic lockdown and till now during the restrictions. And if we talk about Emaar as a leading developer here in Dubai, that also was very easy for them because there were a lot of interest from overseas, given the way that Dubai and UAE government have handled this COVID situation. A lot of people were watching compared to what's happening back home. And what we're experiencing now, we're living a normal life, fairly normal life, just, abiding by the rules, keeping the mask on at all times, otherwise we get fined, keeping the distance, maintaining the capacity of, even in our office and other public areas. So all of this really helped. And even Dubai has conducted some sterilization process during the lockdown. So like we would be home, 6 p.m., everything is shut. Then the government and the municipality will clean up all the streets, all the neighborhoods, all the areas that had been, contaminated, to make sure that it's ready when people return. They return to a clean, sanitized place. Even the schools and the hospitals and the metros, everything was sanitized during the lockdown. So people had more trust and faith in Dubai. And yes, I would not deny the fact that a lot of people lost their jobs due to the pandemic. Some people had to leave the country, unfortunately, but I can tell you from conversations I have with parents at school and colleagues and other people that they left with the plan of coming back because they just want to go settle the kids in schools, because obviously private schools in Dubai are a little bit expensive. So they go back home, put their kids in school, recharge, and then fix their situation and hopefully start looking for another job in Dubai. And a lot of people have done so. And I have a lot of parents, students returning to school in the last couple of months. So business as usual, to be honest. I mean, if you come to Dubai, you can buy in Dubai physically, or you can be sitting elsewhere in the world and buy.
Okay, excellent. I only have one. Thank you for that, Dunya. We only have 1 minute left here. I just wanted to ask a real quick 1-sentence response from Samir. What key legal issues must a company consider when expanding into Dubai? Samir, can you give a quick 1-sentence or 2-sentence answer? Because we have to wrap this up, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, absolutely. Maybe I should, in fact, confirm the rosy picture that everyone had painted about Dubai. The beauty of Dubai, if I may, that there are a variety of options in terms of structures, the ease of doing business, like Dunya mentioned, and Akil confirmed, and the tax haven. In fact, this is one area that Dubai is actually, again, scoring high on. There is no taxation other than a very minimal VAT tax, but the rest is either free zones that are tax exempt, or there are main land options that are not subject to any corporate tax or what have you. So it is very attractive. And when I look at Dubai, one thing to bear in mind, Dubai is not only the city, but it's also hub for the entire region. So it has access to the entire region, and the opportunities are wide open.
You know what? I actually understand that we actually have a few more minutes than just the 1 minute. We're going until half past the hour. So Samir, if you have anything else you can add to that, would be great.
I hope I have answered that question for you. But if you would want me to drill down in terms of the options that are available down there, I can do that.
John, is there anything that you would like to add to the legal aspect of expanding into Dubai that you know from the US side?
Well, I think I'd just very generally state this, that as an international business attorney, probably the best advice that I can give to a US client that's interested in locating in Dubai is to be flexible, have an open mind, be patient. Business can be done there. The legal barriers are not so great that you cannot overcome them. Work carefully or closely with good qualified local counsel in Dubai. Al Tamimi and Company is an excellent company, for example, and I've been privileged to know them for quite a few years. So that would be my advice without getting into too much detail.
Excellent, thank you. Let me ask a question here for Alex and Danila. From what you guys have seen and worked with in your international market strategies and expansion strategies, what do you see as the best way to set up a business in Dubai? And maybe this could be a conversation actually with Samir, John, Danila, Alex. There are different options of setting up business in different markets. There are usually around 6 different options, but what is the best and most common option that people pursue when interested in expanding business-wise into Dubai?
So, Max, I would say that it's basically 2 ways to do that. One is to establish your business in the mainland Dubai, and the second one is our offshore business. So those are very good options. I mean, they have a lot of advantages in tax benefits. They have a lot of advantage in funding opportunities from the government. And that's something that would probably take another webinar like this one for us to discuss all the nuances. But I would say that Dubai has been very proactive to attract business. And we have been seeing a lot of potential opportunities coming from US and South America and from other countries we have been dealing with, going to Dubai exactly because of the ease of doing business, because of how friendly for a business environment Dubai is. And also Dubai has been so proactive that you can even do business if you're not there. So it's all sorts of ways that you can conduct these businesses in Dubai. And another thing I would like to mention is there are so many opportunities for funding in Dubai that a couple of minutes ago we talked about agriculture. So it was just recently made an investment of $100 million in indoor farming. That's something that is such high tech that is unbelievable. And for you to have an idea, when Akil mentioned about the solar power technology, the last investment was about $27 billion in that industry. So we have been seeing a lot of folks that we have connections and they are in our portfolio that they want to go that way and that they wanted to invest in Dubai exactly because of all these aspects we have been talking during this webinar.
Excellent. Kathy, I'm going to throw this back to you with a question here. Given the BHHS and the global positioning of BHHS, can you expand a bit on the real estate company network and how it can benefit the World Trade Center network?
Absolutely. Through our network affiliation, all of the brokers who are members have already been vetted and gone through the qualification process for Berkshire Hathaway. So once we're carrying the Berkshire Hathaway flag, so to speak, we know that those companies are going to have the same consistency in how they do business in terms of the quality, the branding. We want to represent that in a similar way so that everybody who's a member of the World Trade Center has some confidence knowing that when they're working with a Berkshire Hathaway company, wherever they are in the world, that they're working with a reputable company. And certainly through the partnership, I think we have similar objectives in terms of aligning with people who are specialists in their respective areas, and to make sure that we are all kind of coming together collectively for the businesses that we're supporting and helping people through the process.
Excellent. Let's see here. Those kind of are most of the questions that I have here. Is there anybody else that had any questions from our attendees? And while you guys,
Max, this is Melinda. I had a couple of questions.
Sure.
I don't know if you have them or if you want me to go ahead with the question.
I think I've answered or asked the questions. One was clean tech, the other was agriculture. There is one here there's still room for a real estate developer in Dubai.
The question and what I wanted to point out was, as a certified international property specialist, I go through in-depth training. That means for understanding how each country works, their government, and all the special things that go along, like if an employee doesn't have a company, they have a relocation package, what they need to know is certain things. And some of the issues I've seen is that a company will give a relocation package and they'll say, I'll give you $10,000 to move. Well, the employee has to set that up themselves. So what they do is they call a company, they say, yes, I'll move you. The company, and what they don't understand is Berkshire Hathaway HomeServices has a international the global company goes anywhere in the world that will do everything for you, from coming to pick up and box your household goods, which many companies, if they don't do global business and they don't understand, and they'll tell you they do, they don't understand the freighting. They don't understand that there's certain ways you must pack up your goods if you're going to send it freight. And many companies don't know that when they come to pick them up, and then they have somebody come pick it up and drop it off. Well, the people picking up and don't drop off don't understand that it hasn't been packed correctly. Then it gets over there and they don't understand that they need to contact someone over there to move it to their house. So HomeServices has that entire package. They come, they do a quote, they pack it up correctly, they get it through customs here and on that end, and they will deliver it. They have someone that will deliver it to your home. So it is a seamless process. No one has to worry about where their household goods are. And, they're a partner of ours, and we use them for domestic and global. So
excellent.
That's important.
That's the logistics are always can be a headache, and it's great to know that Berkshire Hathaway HomeServices has those services to provide. One other question, because we only have a couple of minutes left here. Can either you, Melinda, or Dunya speak to medical. This is always a big question about medical coverage in foreign markets and how to secure medical coverage, whether it's insurance or whatever. Can either one of you speak to that? Dunya.
Dunya, I'll let you go.
Or medical coverage in what sense? In Dubai, or
Yes,
is in the
in
process
Dubai.
of relocation?
In Dubai.
In Dubai.
And if you can also speak in the process of the relocation. Now I know that there are international insurance policies that you can purchase for coverage, but once you get to Dubai, what's the process and how difficult is it to get into the system?
For Dubai, and I think most expats and even locals here, they have their private insurance that they get. And there's some really great policies here, and they cover some major things depending on what insurance you get. But I can speak for myself, like I have two little kids. So any decent insurance will allow me to, if my kid gets a fever in the middle of the night, to go to the nearest hospital or clinic. And most of the medical here is private, but we do have the government as well, and government assists in some of those cases. So, but I would say it's mostly private insurance oriented process.
And given that you came from Morocco to Dubai, was there a waiting period before you could get the coverage in Dubai?
No, not at all. You apply at any of the available insurance companies, or perhaps the brokers can also direct you on which insurance is best suited for you, and you can immediately get that with no delays. And whatever it is, you pay before, or it covers you. They have some of the major hospitals and clinics, and you go get the checkup done, and you walk out.
Perfect.
As simple as that.
I'll just add one point on there, to kind of just add to Dunya's point. As part of the regulations in Dubai to live and work in Dubai, it's actually mandatory to have health insurance. So everybody is covered at any point in time. If you're working and living in Dubai, you will have some form of health insurance, ranging from as cheap as like $100, $120 a year for very basic to highly more sophisticated ones that Dunya mentioned as well. So as long as you're living and working here, you will be covered.
And is there an income minimum to get the private insurance versus the government sponsored insurance?
Not at all.
No.
Okay.
Because
there are some markets where you're on the government sponsored in the government sponsored system until you earn a specific amount of money, and only then can you purchase private. So this is good to know. I have just 2 minutes left here. Thank you everyone for your, all the panelists. Akil, we do have one other question for you about M&As, but we're going to get that question to you offline, and We'll make sure that Diane gets the answer to that. I just want to, before I hand this back to Melinda, I wanted to just mention real quick a little bit about the World Trade Center organization. The World Trade Center Atlanta is a member of the World Trade Centers Association. It's a global organization of 330 World Trade Centers strategically located around the world. And yes, there is, as Dunya mentioned in her presentation, there is a World Trade Center Dubai. It focuses primarily on trade shows and industry conventions and things like that. But there is a World Trade Center in Dubai. And as a member of the World Trade Centers Association, that's headquartered in New York, and we're here, membership with us and contact with us gets you that access to the World Trade Center in Dubai. No issue there. So we are your trade and investment, as is each World Trade Center around the world. We're your trade and investment gateway to connect you and the southeastern U.S. to the world. So reach out to us if you have any trade and investment questions or interests, and we will make sure that we get you connected to the right organizations, and that also includes FDI Dubai. So now let me turn this back to Melinda And thank you guys very much. And we look forward to seeing you next week. Melinda, it's all yours.
Hello, everybody. Thank you. I appreciate everybody taking the time to come to this exciting event. I think it was very informative. If you have any other follow-up questions, you can send them to me. My email will be on the follow-up that you will get after this meeting. I want to say thank you to our special guests, to Vishal, to Samir, to Dunya for coming and presenting today. I appreciate all the information you gave. It was great. I think everyone has a good understanding of Dubai, its culture, how easy it is to do business there, and how we can get you there, the relocation team, and with Berkshire Hathaway, we can help and get you there every step of the way. And that is everything from packing, moving, currencies. We have a currency company we work with that doesn't cost anyone any money. You have US money, you're sending it to Dubai. It won't cost you money to transfer that. We have many, many other experts and people that can assist. So contact us, Dunya or myself, and we can get you there every step of the way. And thank you to the experts on this call, because they are part of the team that is so valuable to us to get these folks, get that information out to everybody. It's a daunting task to relocate, so we don't want you to miss any step on the way. So thank you again. I appreciate it. And thank you, Max. I appreciate you for hosting. I apologize for not the formal introduction, and I was saving it for more towards the end. So I apologize. You did a fabulous job. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Stay safe.
Thank you.
Stay
Thank
safe.
you,
Thank you,
everyone.
everyone. Stay safe.